Okay, these are the instructions for the Build an Atom Virtual Lab. So we're going to use this simulation here, Build an Atom PhET simulation, to fill out the missing things in this chart. Now, the chart that you have attached to the Google Classroom, I accidentally does not have enough information. It is missing some things in here and it makes it impossible to actually fill it out. So I also posted on the Google Classroom something called corrections to Build an Atom Lab. So go into the corrections and you can copy the chart, copy the missing information from the chart so that your chart is complete, so you have enough information to solve these mystery things. Okay, so we're going to start here with beryllium. I've done the first one for you, so these red ones are the right answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and see how we got those answers. So let's go to the simulation. So you'll click that link. I have it open here in another tab. And you're going to press play. And then you're going to choose the atom simulation like so. And then we're going to build, I think it was, yes, it was beryllium here. So they told us, here, let's go back and look at our sheet here. What we know, we didn't know this red one, this is the right answer, but we knew these things. We knew it had a mass number of 9 and 2 electrons. Those are the only things we knew, and we knew it was beryllium. So let's fill in that known things, and we can use the simulation to find out the unknown. So first we're going to make beryllium. We're going to use our periodic table. Here's beryllium on the periodic table. Actually, here we'll go back to it. I have you can use your periodic table blue handout from class. I pasted one here on my document, so I can go down here or use any periodic table from the internet, and you can find beryllium. Here's beryllium right here. Notice that beryllium's atomic number is 4. And remember from a previous video or class that atomic number equals the number of protons. Okay, so we know that since it's beryllium, it must have 4 protons. Beryllium always has 4 protons. So that actually we can fill in here. That's how we got the 4. And we can also build it in our simulation. So we can pull up 4 protons. So we're going to drag them into there. Notice as I drag a proton, each time I drag a new proton, it becomes another element. If I had 2 protons, it becomes helium. And here in the little periodic table, it shows us what element we're at. We need to, whoa, what happened there? Sorry, I pressed something. Okay, bear with me. Here we go. Okay, so let's do that again. We're going to drag in 1, 2, 3 protons, and that's lithium. We need 1 more, 4 for beryllium. Let's also open up this net charge and mass number. Okay, now we have to put in some neutrons. How many neutrons? Well, we're going to have to go to look at our worksheet. It didn't tell us how many neutrons. It just told us what the mass number was. And we know that the mass number is number of neutrons plus number of protons. So there should be 9 neutrons plus protons. So let's go build that in our beryllium. So neutrons. So we're going to keep adding neutrons until we have 9 total protons plus neutrons here. And it can tell us here the mass number, this little scale, has mass number 8 here on the right. So it looks like I need to add 1 more. So if I add 5 protons, then I have a total of 5 plus 4. I'm sorry, I added 5 neutrons plus the 4 protons equals 9 total protons plus neutrons. So that's mass number of 9. We'll go back to our sheet. So that's how we know we have 5 neutrons, because 4 plus 5 has to add up to the mass number, to 9. Okay, now we've been told, because this is in black, that we have 2 electrons. Okay, but we haven't been told this. This is the answer. Let's see how we get that answer. So if I add 2 electrons, I can go back to my little picture here. My simulation, I can add 2 electrons. And now it tells me here where the net charge is plus 2. And that makes sense because I have 4 positive charges from the 4 protons, but only 2 negative charges. So I have an extra, so each negative and positive charge cancels each other out. So I have one pair of positive and negative canceling each other out and another pair canceling each other out. And then I have two protons that are uncanceled out. So my charge is going to be +2, my ion charge. And if we remember from the last class, an ion is an atom that has a charge, that has unequal number of protons and electrons. And then you're going to take a little screenshot of your atom from the simulation. The instructions for taking a screenshot are up here. If you have trouble with that and you can't get the screenshot, don't worry about it. You can just fill out the rest of the chart. So let's start the next one, and then you'll do the rest by yourself. So this next one is a mystery element. We don't know what it is, but we do know that it has an atomic number of 3. So we can look at our periodic table and see what has an atomic number of 3. We would see that as lithium. We can also just build it in our simulation. So we can take out, let's see, I'm going to reset here. And if I just put in 3 protons, it will tell me here that that is lithium. And then you're going to, so we can write the name, lithium. Oops. What is that? Never seen that before. Go away. Cancel. Cancel. Oh, goodness. I'm going to get that. Ah, okay. Thank you. All right. So we know that this is lithium. We can fill that in. We know we've been told there's 4 neutrons, so we can use that information to find out the mass number. We know it has a +1 charge. We can use that information to figure out the number of electrons, and we can also build the atom that way. So we use the simulation and then take a screenshot of the simulation and put it down here. I will tell you there are 2 pairs of the same elements. So there's don't worry if you work on this and you're like, wait a minute, I already have one of those. That's okay. That's intentional. It just says we already found out there's 2 lithiums right there. Okay. Then you're going to answer some questions based on what you learned. Then you're going to do the second simulation and build an atom using this simulation. So let's go back to the simulation, and it tells us to start with an oxygen isotope, O16. Now remember, the 16 actually refers to the mass number, not the atomic number. So the number of protons plus neutrons is the mass number. So let's try that together. Lithium. Oh, no, I'm sorry, lithium, oxygen. So I have to go to a different simulation. I'm going to go to this simulation here. And I'm going to build an oxygen. So oxygen, from the periodic table, I know has atomic number 8. So I'm going to keep dragging protons up there until I get, there it is, oxygen. But now I need to add some neutrons, right? Now I have no neutrons. I need to keep adding neutrons till the mass number is 16. So I'm going to add my neutrons. Keep adding them. Almost there. Okay. That's oxygen 16. And then the worksheet also tells us that we need a neutral atom. Right now, we have no electrons, so I have an atom that has a +8 charge. So I'm going to need to add, you guessed it, 8 electrons in order to have a neutral atom. Let's see, am I almost there? 2 more? Okay, so I'm going to start with, rejected. I'm going to start with a neutral oxygen 16 atom. And then I'm going to see what the instructions are. So first, oops, I accidentally put this in here. That should not be already in there. I gave you the answer already. We're going to add a proton. And we're going to see, does the element name change if I added a proton? Let's find out. So if I add a proton, yes, the element changes. It's now fluorine. Okay, so that's a yes on that one. How about, does the charge change when I added a proton? Well, let's look. The charge was neutral, and I added a proton, and yes, it became positive. It became +1, so the charge also changed. And you have another question to ask about that. Did the mass change? So you have to think, go back and look. Did the atomic mass change? for each one of these things where we remove a neutron, remove an electron, we have to reset back to O16, a neutral O16. So we're going to go back for that next time. We got to take an electron out, and now I've reset to oxygen 16. Then I can do the instructions, which were, for this next one, remove a neutron, and then answer these questions. Did the element name change? Did the charge change? Okay, then you have a question to answer. Then you have one more activity to do here. Then, this is optional, if you want to test your knowledge, you can play a game, the Build an Atom game, and see how you do. Really quiz yourself. Okay.